Have you ever seriously wondered what it really takes to get a business off the ground in a small but growing town? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today using the incredible case study of Wasaga Beach, Ontario as our guide. So let's picture it. You've got this great idea. Maybe it's a side hustle, maybe it's the dream of being your own boss. You look at a place like Wasaga Beach and you think, you know what? This could be the spot. So let's go on that journey. And at first, everything seems pretty simple. The path looks clear, the town feels welcoming, and all the initial info you find makes it seem like your dream is just a couple of easy steps away. I mean, look at this. The town has these helpful brochures for home-based businesses. It lays out all these accessible ideas, catering, wellness services, that kind of thing. And you can't help but start picturing it. It feels totally doable. The rules even seem really straightforward. Like this one, for example, it's just a simple calculation, 15% of your floor area or 30 square meters. It's a clear, manageable number that makes you think, okay, I can do this. But then you decide to dig a little deeper. All right, so you move past the friendly little brochure and you open up the official town licensing bylaw. And this is where that simple, clear path suddenly starts to feel a lot more like a maze. And bam, you're hit with this wall of dense legal language. Just check out this one requirement. All of a sudden, we're not talking about floor space anymore. We're talking about specific forms, fees, and a pretty staggering insurance policy. $2 million. Yep, that's the mandatory liability insurance you need just to get your license. For a small startup you're running out of your house, a number like that, well, it can feel like a massive wall to climb. It changes the whole financial picture. And the stakes are seriously high. If you don't comply, the maximum fine for a first offense is $10,000. That friendly, welcoming vibe has been replaced by some very, very real financial consequences. But what's really fascinating is when you get into the nitty-gritty. The sheer level of detail in these bylaws is just wild. Running an ice cream truck, you need a very specific sign. Offering a holistic service, your first aid kit better have exactly 12 safety pins. It really shows a town that's trying to regulate every possible scenario, probably to keep things safe and predictable in a place that runs on tourism. When you see this level of detail, you have to wonder, right? What's the big picture here? All of these super specific rules must be part of some larger purpose. What is the town's grand economic vision anyway? And it turns out there is one. Wasaga Beach has an Economic Development and Tourism Advisory Committee, and it's their job to guide all this growth and support local businesses. So this is the group trying to steer the ship, balancing all those tiny rules with big picture goals like creating new jobs. And they are dealing with some serious momentum. Just look at this. The town's population growth is actually accelerating, especially with young professionals and mature adults moving in. This is not just some sleepy little town anymore. It's a place with new energy and new demands. The data tells a really clear story about the town's economic DNA. You can see there's a huge reliance on retail, accommodation, and food services, all way higher than the provincial average. It paints a picture of an economy that is built from the ground up on tourism and local services. And this chart just drives that point home. The biggest job creators here are retail, construction, and hospitality. This is the engine that makes the local economy run, and the town's whole strategy is really designed to support and manage it. But what if there's another way to do things? Right next door, the neighboring town of Collingwood is taking a radically different approach. They're not just trying to manage their existing economy, they are actively trying to build a whole new one that's centered on sustainability and innovation. Collingwood's game plan is crystal clear. They want to attract a younger workforce. They want to create better jobs, not just more jobs, in sectors like tech, and they're even building a business accelerator. It's a strategy that's all about transformation, not just maintenance. And this isn't just some mission statement on a website. They're actually building it. Look at this, the Hume Hub in Collingwood. It's a real-world example of their vision in action. You've got homes up top and an engineering and innovation space right downstairs. It's the perfect symbol of their whole live-work, innovation-first strategy. Okay, so let's bring this all back to you, the entrepreneur, standing right at the beginning of this journey in Wasaga Beach. With all these detailed rules, a growing population, and a neighbor with a completely different vision, what does it all mean for your new business? So for our entrepreneur, it really comes down to a balancing act. On one side, you've got this booming population and a solid foundation in tourism and construction. But on the other side, you're looking at a mountain of regulations, some big infrastructure gaps, and really intense competition from the town next door that has a bold, forward-looking strategy.
And that leaves us with this one fundamental question for any growing town out there. What's actually more important? Having the perfect rulebook that tries to manage every last detail, or having the boldest vision that attracts a whole new kind of future? That's really the choice facing places like Wasaga Beach and the entrepreneur we've been following on this journey.